invite the Additional Director of the National Science Foundation, Dr. Shanta Siri, to formally welcome the participants.
Thank you, Dr. Inoka. My voice is clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. And yes, good morning to all of you. And on behalf of the National Science Foundation and the Director General, I extend a warm welcome to today's session on grantee orientation, awareness on our new grantees. Of course, I would say this session is very, very, very important because maybe from the grantees point of view, you would think that completing the grant with successful milestone and output would be the perfect. But the other part of the equation is financial part and the technical part go hand in hand. As you may be aware, with the new financial act, all of us has the individual responsibility as well as the collective responsibility for the financial discipline, appropriate use of funding, timely reporting. So very, very important. So therefore, to become a successful completion of a grant means technical progress milestones as well as financial part, careful handling of financial part, responsible handling of financial part as well, equally important. So therefore, I am sure today's session will be very important, where you will get wider shedding of light on how to go with the your grant and how to successfully complete. How would be the financial part? How you could handle any challenges or difficulties? My recommendation is always keep a close rapport with our research division head and other grant coordinating officers. Always close coordinate. Please respond to mails. Continuous rapport. Then there won't be any difficulty. It won't be a bureaucrat, but they will create a conducive environment. But requirement is always keep a close rapport and close communication. Respond to mail, and I'm sure in that sense today's session will be very, very useful and fruitful. And I wish successful event, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Shanta. Now let's go into the first presentation. Okay. Now I will give a brief introduction to the competitive research grants as a guide for the new grantees. because I'm the coordinator of the competitive research grants, I will do this presentation and followed by a presentation by our senior accountant and the head of the research division. Now, first of all, this is a little late, but congratulations. You are now NSF grantees. Some of you have had the previous grants, a few of you, but majority of you are first-time grantees of NSF. Now, just to show you how lucky you are, now this is the results of the competitive research grants of last year. You are among the 20% of the applicants who were successful in obtaining a grant. Right, and now these grants have been awarded under 7 working committees. So your grant number, the letters in your grant number such as A, G, B, S, that denotes the working committee under which your grant comes. These are the committee coordinators. They are here. Some of them are here with us. Agriculture and Food Science is coordinated by Ms. Dilani Javira, and Basic Sciences by Ms. Sumudu Gunasekara. Biotechnology by Dr. Mahesha Nadugala. Engineering Science, Architecture and ICT by Engineer Sureshini Vanasurya. Environment and Biodiversity by Ms. Christine Dasanayaka. Health Sciences by myself. And then also Social Sciences also by Ms. Christine Dasanayaka. Now, once your grant is awarded, there is a monitoring process. At the basis of it is the fact that you are awarded public funds. So that means we have a responsibility to the public of this country, the taxpayers of this country, to ensure that the grant funds that were awarded have been well spent and according to the plan that was approved at the beginning. So there is a grant monitoring process. So once the grant is awarded, every 6 months, you have to submit progress reports and financial statements. They will be evaluated by an external reviewer, and then it will go to the 7 working committees, the relevant working committee. There will be also progress review seminars by the working committees, and our officers will visit your departments from time to time to see the progress. And at the end of your project, you have to submit the final report, and then that will also be evaluated by an external reviewer, and finally it will be accepted or asked to revise by the working committees. But that does not end here. Actually, there is like a further process of follow-up, which will also happen after your grant is completed. Right. So as a grantee, your first obligation is to read the documents, especially the contractual agreement and the terms of that agreement. In the agreement and the terms, we have specifically mentioned all the conditions that are in operation. So read the contractual agreement and be familiar with the rules and regulations of NSF. If you have any queries regarding the agreement conditions, you can discuss them at the end of this session. So now after the agreement has been signed, the funds transferred. Now all of you have got your fund transfer, I hope. So the funds will be transferred by installment basis. The funding, disbursement, and related things would be discussed by our senior accountant. Also, I will just briefly to tell you that in your first installment, the equipment, consumables, personnel, lab services, travel and miscellaneous were transferred to the university account, but postgraduate registration will be given only on reimbursement basis. So once the student registers and pays the registration fee, you can send us the documents for us to reimburse that amount. Then an important thing is that you have to use the funds, utilize them efficiently, because for the second year installment, you have to at least spend 2/3 of the first installment that was transferred before we can transfer the second year's installment. A special condition is that the funds in the equipment board will not be transferred to any other boards usually, unless there is a very special case. Then reporting progress, which is an important activity in the grant management. It is the responsibility of the principal investigator and the co-investigators. So reports, there are three kinds of reports: progress reports, financial reports, and final report. And we expect grantees to be responsible in reporting. So that is, you have to timely submit the reports, and then it has to be according to the format that we prescribe. And you have to present actual facts. You can also mention any problems encountered or problems that you envision for the future. And the financial figures have to be accurate. Talking about progress reporting, progress reports have to be submitted biannually by 15th of June and 15th of December each year. So your first progress report is due by 15th of June. That is, the progress up to 31st May have to be submitted before 15th of June. So all of you can get ready to submit your progress reports now. If the coordinators have not yet sent you the soft copies of the progress reports, they will do so probably within the day. So you have to submit the progress report according to that format. And the investigators, all the investigators have to sign the progress report, and it has to be sent through the head of the department of the principal investigator. In the case that the head of the department is the principal investigator, then it has to be sent through the dean of the faculty. If it's not a university, then you have to send the progress report through the head of the institution. The progress reports include administrative details and objectives achieved to date, a description of the research carried out during the period, results or outputs, and the Gantt chart of the work done, the brief work plan for the next 6 months, and the expenditure for the period, and if you encountered any problems or whether there were any deviations, and if you have made any publications or conference proceedings, that has to be reported. And also, if any equipment is purchased, you have to send us a copy of the inventory page along with the progress report. If any equipment was purchased, you can send us the inventory page, copy of the inventory page. Then when it comes to final report, after the project period is completed, we give 3 months for you to submit the final report. So once the period is complete, you have 3 more months to complete the final report and submit it. We expect a bound hard copy and a soft copy. There's also a format for the final report. nearing the end of your grant period, the coordinators will send it to you. It has to be signed by all the investigators, and it has to be sent through the head of the institution of the principal investigator. Meaning, if it's the university, it has to be sent through the vice chancellor. And as a condition, it's also in the contractual agreement, there has to be a minimum of 2 index journal publications for once the grant is completed. Also, the format includes a summary of the research in layman's language, not scientific language, layman's language that we can maybe publish in a newspaper or common media. In simple language, the summary of what you achieved in your research. Also, if you have a research student and they are registered for a MPhil or a PhD, once they submit the thesis, you can send a copy of the thesis to us. There is a provision for you to get the printing cost of the thesis up to rupees 25,000 to get it reimbursed. And also, as I mentioned earlier, we will follow up your research outputs. We will be following up your project after 4 years of the completion of your grant. Final report also has the administrative details, then executive summary, a detailed report, including all the objectives, methods, results, discussion, and so on. Then the research outputs, the publications and communications, equipment purchased, and the summary statement of expenditure. Then financial reporting, that is also done biannually through the during with the progress reports and the final financial report with the final report. The biannual financial statements along with the progress report every 6 months, it has to be submitted. It has to be certified by the principal investigator and the BURSA. Final financial statements has to be submitted within 30 days of completion of the research grant. Balance funds should be returned to NSF. Your expenditure has to be within the approved amount in each vote. If you need any transfers, you have to get prior approval of NSF. And also, if at any time you need a transfer within votes, it has to come through the proper channel, the head of the department, dean, and the vice chancellor. It has to come through that channel if you need any vote transfers and get our approval before you can do any transfers within the vote. Common mistakes in progress reporting and the final reports. Sometimes it's not according to the format, and sometimes not adequate information is not provided for reviewing. Because we send the progress reports and also the final report to external reviewers, you have to provide adequate information for them to assess the progress of your project. Sometimes the images and the diagrams have poor quality, and it's not sent through the proper channels. You can, of course, if getting the signatures of the head of the department or anyone is getting delayed, you can submit an advance copy to the coordinators. But it is essential that you get the signatures and send it through the proper channels. And all the investigators have also to sign the reports. Also, if there are any deviations, we do understand that while the project is going on, there may be certain changes that need to be done. So it is all right as long as you get prior approval, inform NSF and get prior approval, then deviations within acceptable limits is allowed. So always inform deviations early to NSF. Then you have to submit the soft copies as well as the bound copy of the final report. Progress reports need not be bound. Yeah. Yeah, but both soft and hard copies need to be submitted. In the progress report, you need to mention the correct period for which you are submitting the progress reports. As I mentioned, each year up to 31st May and 30th November have to be submitted by the 15th of the following month. Then evaluation of the progress and the final reports, as I mentioned, they will be evaluated by an independent reviewer, and then collective recommendation will be taken by the relevant committee. Also, progress review seminars and field visits will be carried out to assess the progress. So I think some of these new grantees also had the chance to present when we visited some of the universities. And during these progress review seminars or evaluations of your progress reports, constructive comments or suggestions will be made for the improvement of the project. So you can take them on board and improve accordingly, or if you have any clarifications or reasons, then you can always write and let us know. So based on the reviewers' reports and views of the committee members, the final reports will be accepted and graded, or asked to revise and then graded. Once that has happened, an acceptance letter will be sent accepting the final report. And those who get graded as very good and good will get a certificate of completion. There are rewards at the end of the project. So if your final report was accepted with a very good or good rating, then you will be considered for the NSF Research Awards. There are certain other criteria also. You have to submit it within the given time, and you need to have publications and a good research output. Then you will be eligible for the NSF Research Awards, and they will be evaluated on a competitive basis. And each year, under each discipline, there will be research awards and certificates of commendation, which will be awarded at the NSF Awards ceremony each year. There is also a gap filling grant scheme where if your grant output has a TRL, technology readiness level of 3 or above, and has the potential for commercialization or implementation as a public policy or something, then we would invite you for this gap filling grants. This is not open to the public. It is a closed system only for our successful NSF grantees. You will be invited for this grant. I think some more information will be provided at the later presentation. These are some of the problems we face in monitoring the grant. We get audit queries on the progress and financial monitoring. If your progress reports are late, we get audit queries. If the financial progress is not enough, you have not utilized your funds, then we get audit queries. So we have to reply to these audit queries every so often if you do not adhere to our rules and regulations. Also, if there are extensions requested, then also we get audit queries sometimes. Because extensions and fund transfers imply that you have not properly planned your project. because sometimes transfers within notes are requested right at the beginning of the project. So that would mean that you have not properly planned your project. So be careful of those things and make sure that you successfully complete the project. Because if you do not complete it on time also, we are answerable as a public institution uh, for your delays also. And yeah, NSF is answerable to the Treasury on outputs and outcomes of the project and impact on the socio-economic development. So once again, I would like to stress the fact that you are using public funds. So you have to be, you have to deliver value for money. So at the end of it, the public of Sri Lanka has to have a benefit. It can be a scientific benefit uh, because we do award the basic science, basic research, grants for basic research. So, but ultimately, one day those will be benefit the society in an indirect way even. So make sure that you uh, achieve the objectives that you set to achieve, and then utilize the funds efficiently and get good output from your research because you are using public funds. Uh, Thank you. Next, we will move on to the next presentation. Uh, I would like to invite Ms. Priyanka Bamanendra, Senior Accountant of National Science Foundation, to make a presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Inoka. Ikan din ako. Hello. Hello. Inamagi siya karagana ka. Had. Mana? Mana? Mana?
Miss Priyanka, can you put this into the presentation mode?
Slideshow. Yeah, we can see the presentation, but
The microphone.
Hello, can you see the screen now?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, we can see.
Yes, we can.
All right. Right. Good morning, everyone. First, I would like to warmly welcome all the new grantees. I am Priyanka Bamunendra, Senior Accountant of the National Science Foundation. Today, I'll briefly explain the key financial regulations and procedures related to the research grants. The purpose of this session is to help you clearly understand your financial responsibilities, the grant disbursement process, financial reporting requirements, fund utilization procedures, common financial issues and compliance requirements. These guidelines are important to ensure transparency, accountability, and smooth implementation of your research projects. Now we will move on to financial responsibilities under the grant agreements. Grant funds are provided based on the approved budget and approved expenditure votes. Therefore, all expenses must strictly follow the approved budget categories. Both the institution and the principal investigator are jointly responsible for the proper management and utilization of the grant funds. I would like to emphasize that any deviation from the approved activities or budget allocations, you must receive prior approval from the NSF before the expenditure is incurred. This is very important to avoid audit queries and delays in future fund release. Now let us look at the grant disbursement process. Funds are released in installments and will be credited directly to the institutional bank accounts. Therefore, please clearly mention your bank details, including the name of the banks, name of the accounts, name of the bank and branch, and account numbers when you sign the agreements. The first installment is released after signing the grant agreement. This date is considered as the date of commencement of the projects. Subsequent installment will depend on three important requirements. First one is submission of the technical progress report. Second one is submission of the interim financial report. Third one is acceptance of those reports by NSF. Normally, funds disbursements are made twice annually. Likewise, first year, first installment, second year, first installment, and second year, second installments. Therefore, timely submission of reports is essential to avoid delays in receiving funds. Now we will move on to fund utilization. Funds must be used only for approved project activities, cannot be transferred between budget lines without the prior written consent of the NSF, must follow approved procurement and accounting procedures. Grant funds cannot be used for normal administrative and overhead expenses. Cost of maintenance of existing equipment and machinery belongs to the grantee's institution, building construction or renovations, salaries of principal investigator, personal expenses unrelated to the projects. Now we will move on to report requirements. Interim financial reports must be submitted twice a year. by 15th June and by 15 December each year. Financial reports must be certified by the principal investigator and the BSA or CFO. The final financial reports must be submitted within 30 days after completion of the projects. Any unutilized balance must be returned to the NSF within 30 days after completion. Sorry. Proper inventory record must be maintained and submitted to the NSF for equipment purchased under the grants. Maintain accurate financial and inventory record is essential for accountability and future references. Now we will move on to the final presentation. Finally, I would like to highlight several common issues observation in grant management. These includes delays in submitting financial reports, unclear or incompleted information in reports. Some projects appears to have significant balancement committed. However, these commitments are not clearly reflected in the financial statements. When there are significant unutilized balance, we are reluctant to disburse the next installment. Therefore, please highlight if there is a commitment when you submit your financial statements. Failure to properly mention reports headings. Is it interim financial statement, final financial statement that is not clearly mentioned sum of grantees in their financial reports, budget deviation without prior approvals, utilization of funds after project completion dates. I kindly request all grantees to pay special attention to these matters to ensure smooth financial administration and compliance with NSF regulations. In conclusion, I wish all success in your research projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Priyanka. Next, I would like to invite the head of the research division, Engineer Mahesh Disanayaka, to make his presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Inoka. Good morning to all our grantees. So this regarding our RD or NSF or what our country expected from this grant schemes. So National Science Foundation is the main granting body in the country. We support research, innovation, and enterprise. That's we have a series of grant scheme to support all these activities and to strengthen research, innovation ecosystem of the country. And first of all, I would like to thanks for your interesting to apply for NSF grants and carry out this research that what the country needs today, because we know each and every developed country in the world, they have a scientific and technical advancement through this new technologies. So we also need to have same if we need to have a developed country. When we think about the Sri Lanka situation, we appreciate your interest on research because we have a limited number of scientists in the country. If you see the this stats, we Sri Lanka have only 97 scientists, full-time scientists per million inhabitants. Altogether, we have nearly 6,200 scientists, and we have nearly 2,000 full-time scientists. So that is very low when compared with the India, Vietnam, Thailand. So you can see some other countries just near to us and parallel to us. And countries like Singapore, Japan, even South Korea, you can see how many scientists per million inhabitants. So that is the must. So we have a limited number of scientists. So you are those scientists, and we always appreciate your contribution to our country. We know that, and we have a lot of difficulties even when we are doing the research. But as a NSF, as a research division, we are always committed to support to any difficulties, any support you need from the NSF side. All our coordinators are here, and they will do any support you required at any time. So normally when we talk about the research and development of R&D, even our administrative people, treasury people, they think about only we have a knowledge creation. But they said they will ask what is the value for money, and this is not the investment. They believe that this is just like a liability, but actually this is an investment. We have a knowledge creation, but ultimately what country required, because even in the NSF mandate mission also we say that through technical and scientific advancement, we expected well-being of the people of the country, so that we required wealth creation. So wealth creation is the next step of the research. So that National Science Foundation introduced a lab to market model, so that we have a series of grant scheme, not for the basic research, applied research, and also technical development, and for the commercialization. So that our researchers want to work themselves, and also they want to work with the entrepreneurs also, because if you can't complete this cycle, so we can't do the wealth creation. If you do the knowledge creation, so it's a part of this cycle. So once you complete this part of cycle, means even government can support more and more to the R&D work, because now we are also blaming that government is only spending the 0.1 from our GDP. Even out of the 0.1, nearly 40% from the private sector. So government has nearly 59% from the total what we expend for the research. But to expend more and more in the research, we need to go in this cycle and to have some tangible output to the country, so that we motivate you to do this one, so that when we even designing our grant schemes at the initiation of the NSF, National Science Foundation, so they have a series of grant schemes to by thinking the continuation of the research, because we believe and we see that we see a lack of research continuation. Sometimes we initiate research, we will end up with the publication or knowledge creation. It will not go beyond that level, so that we require continuation of research. That is the one thing. Another thing is the partnerships. Partnership means so we require more collaborative research, and also we require more partnership with the industries, especially with the industries, or especially with the any organization. For example, if you are doing a research on irrigation, so if there is no irrigation people in that research, the irrigation department will not accept, or irrigation ministry will not accept that result. So that we require the person from that. So that we require that partnership. If you are doing a research to the industry, so we require the industry personnel. So then only we can get their output and their needs, and then we can cater to them. Otherwise, even though we have done good research and we have good outputs, it is very difficult to have effective technology transfer. So that whatever the money we spend on R&D, so it will sometimes, as some people said, that it's in vain, will not value for that money. So that's what we expected through our different grant schemes. So here we will give our grants based on the TRL level. So as Dr. Enoch also mentioned that if we have a TRL level 3 output from our CRG grant, so we can support them to continue their research. That is an invitation. Even we are not going for the competitive basis. We just invite them to continue that one because we need the continuation. So you can see TR level 1 to 9. So TR level 1 to 3 means that is the initial knowledge creation level. But if you are going TR level 4 to 8 means that is a technology development. So that is beyond the lab level. So that we require that level also. Once we reach to the TR level 9 means we have a full-fledged technology or we have a ready-to-serve technology or ready-to-use technology. That is for the commercialization step. So that means we have that technology. So that means we need to pass all these steps uh, in our research and technology development work. So that NSF has, as I mentioned early, introduced lab to market model. And in the lab to market model, we have mapped all the grant scheme available with NSF against the TRL level and what we expected from at each level. So initially 1 to 3 means basic research, 1 to 2, 1 to 3 is the basic, right? And then mission oriented to applied research, and then the technology development, and later the commercialization. So we have different grant schemes for all these levels. So you can see in the maps also. And thing is that if you are getting the basic research or if you are getting our applied research grant from NSF through our CRG, once you completed the CRG, we will invite you, if you have a TR level 3 output, we will invite you to continue your research. So we will give a 2 million per project to continue that project. And we expected that you will increase your TR level from 3 to 6. So that's what we expected from you, from that grant. Even if you are going to tier level 3 to 6, still we require the technology development. So you can apply to our technology development grant scheme. So we have a technology development grant scheme, you can apply that one. And we will support you to continue that technology development. So once you complete the technology development part, and if you have a full-fledged product for licensing or for commercialization, so we can support because there's a two ways to the commercialization. One is start our own business, that is startup, or we will sell our technology to the some other company licensing. So we support that licensing or startup. We have a separate grant scheme for that one. So that one can take at least 4 grants to complete this minimum 4 grants to complete this commercialization process in the research. So that what we expected even from your side, or you can join with the UBL, or you can apply to NSF for all these grants, and ultimately we expect that you will end up with the commercialization. So you can see here how we can do that. We have what tier level 1 to 2 output from we expect from CRG, ICRP, Internal Collaborative Research Program, and we have a scholarship grant scheme, and we also PRDF, PDRF grant scheme. So whatever this grant is, we expect at least tier level 1 to 3 output. If we have a tier level 3 output, then we will invite you to do the gap filling grant and also we have a new grant scheme called Industry Driven Research and Development. So in this grant scheme, we are mainly focused on our universities will collaborate with the industries, and they will send us some proposal so that we will consider that one. Even the university can send with the industry. Industry can send with the universities or industry. Industry themselves can apply to that grant scheme, so that we have those 2 grant scheme to increase the TR level 3 to 6. But we have a technology development grant scheme. Once you have completed that some level, maybe TR level, minimum TR level 4, or up to TR level 9. So we will give the technology development grant scheme. So once you have a TR level 8 to 9 product with you, we will give you grant for the startup for licensing purpose. So we have that grant schemes are there. And so we have NSF has 5 different strategic approaches to our researchers. We support basic and applied research, innovation and entrepreneurship, capacity building of R&D workforce. That is also very much important because we always admire, value our R&D workforce duties. And then research infrastructure development, that is also very much important if you want to do the high-end research. And then recognition of research and innovation excellence, that is also there because we always value the contribution to the country. So that computer research grant scheme this year, 2026, now it's open and it will be closed. Deadline is 1st June 2026. It's almost now in that one. And we have international collaborative research program with Pakistan, NSF Sri Lanka and PSF Pakistan. So that is open and deadline is 23rd June this year. So that you can, if you have interest, you can apply that one. And then we have a gap filling research grant scheme. There is on invitation. So once you complete in tier level 3 output, so we will invite them. So that is invitation based. And then support for industry driven R&D grant scheme. So that will be open soon. Most probably maybe next month we can open that one. So that if you have any project with the private sector, you can join with them and you can apply it. And also we are going to initiate new grant scheme called Future Scientist Program, targeting undergraduates in the universities. So that will be also open soon, means maybe nearly August, we can open that one. And then innovation and entrepreneurship means technology development and startup. Those two grant scheme now already open. Anyone interested, they can apply to those grant schemes. All details are in the website. And then capacity building, we have a research scholarship grant scheme. Recently we closed that one. The deadline was in 18th March, 18th May. So already closed that one. But we will open next call in most probably in the August. So anyone interested to apply to scholarship grant, they can apply that one. And postdoctoral research fellowship, it is already open and it's throughout the year it is open. Anyone can apply at any time. So we'll process in quarterly basis. And then research infrastructure development, we have already open research equipment grant scheme and it will close in equipment grant scheme 30th June. So we have 1 month to that one, 30th June. And then we are going to open spare parts for research equipment grants just after the equipment grant scheme deadline. That's and NSF Research Award now under processing and Sustained Awards now under processing, and we will call Sustained Awards at the end of this year. At the end of the year, that one. So those are the programs in this year available for you if you are interested, or if there's any other scientists in the universities interested in this one, they can apply to us. So ultimately, National Science Foundation as the main granting institution under the government, Ministry of Science and Technology, we are always committed to support our researchers and innovators in the country, and we are trying to strengthen the research, development and innovation ecosystem of the country, and we have designed different grant schemes to support our researchers. Even in this tier level 1 to 9 cycle, there may be different value of data there. So we have grant scheme to support at each level, even initial basic concept level also we have different grant scheme as I explained, and then commercialization level also we have there, and also profitability there. That means a startup also. So we have a grant scheme to support there. So we always try to support through our different grant scheme to you. And at the end, I would like to congratulate you all and wish the success of all grant scheme, and to and we all get together and need to support our country through development of science and technological advancement to the country. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Engineer Mahesh. Now it's time for the discussion. If you have any queries, you can raise them now.
Good morning. Since there are no questions, I just thought of asking a question. Thank you for this awareness session. I'm Deepthi from Botany, Peradeniya. And this is not something common, a question, a problem common for all the grantees, but particularly people who are working with collection of specimens from outside. Like, is there a possible, because getting permits takes a long time. A lot of questions come. So is there a possibility of helping NSF grantees? I don't think y'all will be able to help it, but is there any sort of support? Because still I have not received my permits for collections actually from the forest department and the wildlife. I know it's difficult for y'all to help, but
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, at the moment we don't support as such, but I suppose we can, yeah, consider providing you a letter saying that this is a NSF grant and yeah, to
yeah, we do write that in the application anyway.
yeah, no,
Like
I mean, from NSF also we might be able to, our DG, yeah, officially
Right, informing them that.
would that be helpful if we provide a letter
yeah,
from?
I'll try that way also getting a letter. Yeah.
She has to send request.
Yeah, if you can send a request to the coordinator, we can maybe issue a letter from the Director General to the Forest Department, mentioning
Okay,
that
thank
it's our grant, to facilitate the process. Yeah.
okay, thank you.
What is the possibility for more changes in the budget?
Yes, we have another question in the chat box. What is the possibility for vote changes in the budget? If allowed, what's the procedure? There, it is allowed under special circumstances. So you have to send the request through the head of the department, dean, and the vice chancellor. And but you have to justify the request well, because generally we don't give vote transfers unless it is very necessary. So you have to justify the request. In that case, of course, there is a possibility of changes in the votes, except of course the equipment vote and the personal.
I have one question. Um, uh, when it comes to the fund transferring, if I have allocated some money for outsourcing analysis and going forward with the project, if I feel that I need to buy an equipment, is there any possibility of like transferring portion of that to buy an equipment?
Was the equipment not identified at the beginning?
No, we do have like a tube furnace in our laboratory, but the tube is broken now. So it's kind of like slowing down my research project. I want to buy a tube, which is very expensive. That's why I want to know whether I can transfer some of the money which I have allocated for the outsourcing analysis and buy a tube to progress clearly with the project.
Yeah, we can get the possibility. You can send a request, a formal request, yeah, with the justifications and everything, and then we can consider your request.
Thank you so much. Should I send it as like a letter to you through the head dean and the vice chancellor?
Yes.
And the
Address to the Director General of NSF. through the
Right.
proper channel, then it will carry weight and you have to justify properly, then we can consider your request.
Thank you so much.
We have a small request from everyone present. Can you turn on your videos? We can take a quick screen picture. If you can turn on your videos for just for a few minutes.
May I ask a small question meanwhile?
Yes, of course. Yes, you can. Yes.
Hello, this is Dr. Sumit here from Medical Faculty Sabaragamuwa. Now, this is regarding the progress reports. Now, the speaker mentioned detailed reports of progress has to be submitted annually. Now, I was just worried about the question about the detailing of the reports, because what is the safeguard with regard to intellectual property mechanism for safeguarding that from NSF point of view, and also the reviewers, because it's a question from any general researcher will have it, but I'm sure you have a mechanism.
So that normally what we followed in NSF, our reviewers, committee members, and all engage in this review process. They will sign the confidentiality and conflict of interest forms. So that there's a kind of a NDA. So that we thought that we adhere to that one. But in case if you have any highly IP value concept or anything, better to not to mention in the report, because in the report actually we mainly see the financial progress and physical progress, not about the findings. So you can mention findings, but no need to mention if you feel that it has some high IP value and not mentioned to in the progress. So please.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Normally we have taken actions to save the rights.
May I ask you a question if it's okay with you? It's Praspan Latavadarachi from KD. We just want to find out some of the, we have received a grant, but of course, some of the cell lines and etc. that we want to date are very expensive. And then of course, almost 80% of the funding that is there, however much you try to bring down the cost or find alternative source, we cannot cover with the amount of money that has been there. If we need to continue the work that has been started, how do we approach? Is there a way to extend the same grant for another few years, or is there a possibility of adding additional justification to request for covering the expenses?
Yes, Professor. A normal procedure, we can't allow any additional budget to the project what we already approved by the Board of Management. So we expect that our researchers have some margin to have any risk in future, considering we know that when there's a risk and there's increase of all the consumables and equipment due to this change of means increase of dollar rates. One thing we can suggest that you can recalculate all the reserve requirement, and if there is any surplus in other words, you can use that one for the purpose. So that's the first thing we can suggest from the NSF side. Otherwise, we don't have a mechanism to give the further budget to the grant. That one.
Any other questions?
Hi, I'm Dr. Umyangana over here. I'm Umyangana Godakanda from the Department of Chemistry, University of Colombo. This is actually not a question. This is just, I wanted to thank the NSF because I was actually fortunate to receive NSF scholarship, which supported my PhD studies. The principal investigator for the scholarship program was Professor K.M. Nalinda Silva. But actually, thanks to this award system, I was able to finally secure a position as a lecturer at the Department of Chemistry as well later on. And I'm really grateful to now have received my first grant, my first research grant also from NSF as an early career academic. I'm very much thankful to that. And it's really encouraging to see your continued support for young researchers like us in Sri Lanka. Thank you.
Thank you, and congratulations. We are also happy that our scholars are doing well. Are there any other queries? If not, we can wind up this session. Thank you everyone for participating for this awareness session. And as we discussed, getting a grant is a great achievement, but it is a big responsibility, and also an opportunity for you to do some good work and make an impact. So I hope that you will be successful in completing your grants. And if you have any problems, any queries, you can always reach out to us. All our coordinators are always ready to help you out. And submit all the reports on time. And I hope we can together go forward and have a successful journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.